the sting behind the eye, the pressure of the need to cry. I bite the lip to stop the shake and smile for the social sake. The coffee cup is in the hand. I'm acting out the life I planned. I nod at what the people say and navigate the noisy day. But underneath the calm veneer, a storm is raging very near. The clouds are gathering within, beneath the surface of the skin. I'm fighting gravity and law to keep the trembling from the jaw. 'Cause I am crying invisible tears, invisible tears that nobody hears. It falls inside the hollow chest and never give the spirit rest. I'm drowning in the open air while fixing up the messy hair. You look at me and see the trial, but I am pouring from the sky, a secret rain that disappears. My heavy, invisible tears. I walk the street in winter cold, with panic rising in the float. I see the couples pass me by, reflected in the window. They think I'm peaceful and serene, part of the city living scene. They do not see the river fall, where only lonely people go. I'm jealous of the ones who weep, who let the sorrow fall asleep. I have to carry mine around without a drop upon the ground. A prisoner of pride and fear, holding back the salty tear. 'Cause I am crying invisible tears, invisible tears that nobody hears. They fall inside the hollow chest and never give the spirit rest. I'm drowning in the open air while fixing up the messy hair. You look at me and see the dry, but I am pouring from the sky, a secret rain that disappears. My heavy, invisible tears. Never stop. I'm sitting in the quiet chair, pretending that I do my care. I hold the cup and take a sip, without a tremor in the lip. But I can hear the structure groan, the sudden fracture of the bone, a spider web across the soul that takes a heavy, silent toll. You ask me what is on the mind, I'll leave the honest truth behind. I say the coffee is too cold watch the tragedy unfold, invisible to human eyes. The collapse of the compromise. 'Cause nobody hears the sound of breaking, the sound of breaking, the noise that I am making. It happens in the center chest while I am dressed in Sunday best. It's louder than a cannon fire, a snapping of the internal wire. But to the crowd it's silent still, a quiet stand upon the hill while I am falling to the floor. Behind the locking of the door, the sound of breaking. I walk the dog around the block and check the ticking of the clock. The neighbors wave a friendly hand. They do not seem to understand that I am walking on the glass of all the things that came to pass. Every step is sharp and deep, a promise that I cannot keep. I wonder if I screamed aloud, if I could pierce the happy cloud. But silence is the rule I chose to keep the dignity of the pole. So I just smile and carry on while everything inside is gone. 'Cause nobody hears the sound of breaking, the sound of breaking, the noise that I am making. It happens in the center chest while I am dressed in Sunday best. It's louder than a cannon fire, the snapping of the internal wire. But to the crowd it's silent still, a quiet stand upon the hill while I am falling to the floor. Behind the locking of the door, the sound of breaking. Did you hear that? I close the mouth and lock the tongue. A song of grief remains unsung. I sit inside the quiet room, adjusting to the sudden gloom. You ask me what is going on, I tell you that the pain is gone. And I'd offer you the tea and hide the broken part of me. But in the space between the ear, a noise is getting very near. A riot starting in the brain that drives the spirit so insane. I'm standing still upon the floor while screaming at blocking door. 'Cause I am drowning in the echoes of silence, echoes of silence, a deafening violence. It's the words I never say aloud, are gathering into a cloud. They bounce against the hollow bone, reminding me I am alone. It's louder than a thunder crash, the memory of the sudden flash. just repeats the heavy lies, echoes of silence. Try and find a steady beat to drown the voices in the head, reciting things you never said. The smallest strangers passing by, a master of the social life. They see your calm and gentle face, moving at a steady pace. They cannot hear the crashing sound, the walls falling to the ground, the reverb of the lonely heart tearing the defense apart. I'm trapped inside a canyon deep, where secrets are the things I keep. 'Cause I am floating in the echoes of silence, echoes of silence, a deafening silence. The words I never say aloud, like gathering into a crowd. They bounce against a hollow bone, reminding me I am alone. It's louder than a thunder crash, the memory of a certain flash. It never fades, it never dies. It just repeats the heavy lies, echoes of silence. Can you hear it? I wake up and I check the spine to see if it is in a line, enough to hold the heavy sky before the morning passes by. I put the smile upon the face, it anchors me within the place. I tell the mirror I am tough, that I am strong and good enough. But gravity is cruel to me, it pulls the branches off the tree. I feel the concrete in the shoe. With every simple thing I do, I'm walking on the sinking sand, while waving with a steady hand. 'Cause I have carried the weight of the world, the weight of the world, with the banner unfurled. I make you look like a feather in the air, so nobody stops to ask. just the heavy load and keep walking down the road. 'Cause I'm carrying the weight of the world, the weight of the world, with the better unfold. I make it look like a feather in the air, so nobody starts to ask or to care. My shoulders are cracking underneath the storm. My lion standing in the crowd alone. You think I'm flying, but I'm on my knees, begging for a moment of release from the weight of the world. I look into the mirror frame and whisper out the given name, but someone is staring back, dressed in a coat of heavy black. I trace the line along the jaw and find the deep and hidden flaw. The light is passing through the skin, ignoring everything within. I'm fading out against the wall. I do not cast to shape it all. I used to be a solid thing before the winter and the sting. Now I am just a trick of light, dissolving in the middle night. 'Cause I've become a shadow of myself, shadow of myself, a ghost upon the shelf. I follow where the body goes, acting out the highs and lows, but there is nothing in the core. I don't exist here anymore, just a silhouette of pain, standing in the freezing rain, a dark and empty parallel, just a shadow of myself. I walk into the grocery store and glide across the tiled floor. The people do not turn to see the hollow emptiness of me. I pay with money in the hand and act as if I understand the rules of living in a day, while I am drifting far away. I wonder if I set the tether, if I would vanish altogether, if the outline would remain as evidence of silent pain on two-dimensional infer and disappearing fast at that. 'Cause I'm becoming a shadow of myself, a shadow of myself, a ghost upon the shelf. I follow where the body goes, acting out the highs and lows, but there is nothing in the core. I don't exist here anymore, just a silhouette of pain, standing in the freezing rain, the dark and empty parallel. hold the hands together tight and kneel within the fading light. The floor is cold against the knee, a brutal sharp reality. I look up at the ceiling paint and whisper to the silent saint. I pour the secrets on the ground without a single living sound. I ask for strength to fake the smile, to walk another heavy mile. But shadows lengthen on the wall and no one answers to the call. I'm sending signals to the sky while waiting for the tear to dry. 'Cause these are just unheard prayers, unheard prayers, drifting up the stairs. They vanish in the empty air before they reach the one who cares. I'm screaming in a frequency that nobody can hear or see, a desperate and lonely verse trying to lift the heavy curse. I'm begging for a sign of grace while tears are streaming down your face. Unheard prayers. The morning breaks the window pane and I assume the mask again. I wash the evidence away and start the acting of the day. I tell the neighbor I am blessed and cut the questions to the rest. I carry burdens in the bone while walking through the crowd alone. They think I'm filled with hope and light. They didn't see me in the night, negotiating with the dark, looking for a tiny spark. I keep the faith and pray the part, with silence in the breaking heart. 'Cause these are just unheard prayers, unheard prayers, drifting up the stairs. They vanish in the empty air before they reach the one who cares. I'm screaming in the frequency that nobody can hear or see, a desperate and lonely verse trying to lift the heavy curse. I'm begging for a sign of grace. The tears are streaming down your face. Unheard prayers. I tie the laces on the shoe to do the things I have to do. I step onto the pavement gray and start the journey of the day. I see the people pass me by with happy light inside the eye. They walk together hand in hand across the safe and steady land. But I am on a different street with heavy lead upon the feet. I wave and offer them a smile to hide the struggle of the mile. I'm moving but I'm standing still, pushing the stone up off the hill. 'Cause I am walking the lonely road, the lonely road, carrying the heavy load. It stretches out before the face, without a single stopping place. The crowds are loud and very near, but cannot see the atmosphere that separates the heart from them. Like a broken silent gem, I'm surrounded but alone, walking on a cobblestone of the lonely road. I check the map inside the head, remembering the things you said, but landmarks fit into the mist, and names act like they don't exist. I stumble on a hidden store and feel the rattling of the bone. I wanna sit upon the ground and never make another sound, but I must keep the image tight and make it through another night. So I adjust the painted mask and concentrate upon the task of putting one foot in the front, air in the weather and the rain. 'Cause I am walking the lonely road, the lonely road, carrying a heavy load. It stretches out before the face, without a single stopping place. The crowds are loud and very near, but can I see the atmosphere that separates the heart from them? Like a broken silent gem, I'm surrounded but alone, walking on the cobblestone of the lonely road. Just keep walking. I pace across the wooden floor, from the window to the door. I count the cracks within the paint, a sinner acting like a saint. The world is moving on outside, with nowhere left for me to hide. I put the uniform on tight, the smile that is polite and bright, but in the center of the brain, I'm bound by an invisible chain. I answer when you call the name, but I am not part of the game. I'm serving time for crimes unknown, in a prison made of bone. 'Cause I am in solitary confinement, solitary confinement, the perfect alignment of the silence and the fear that keeps me trapped in here. There are no bars upon the cage, just the turning of the page. You look at me and say me free, but you don't hold the key. and study every happy face. I reach my hand to touch the glass, but can I let the feeling pass? The conversation is a blur, like static on the epic sphere. I scream a warning with the eyes, but nobody can recognize the sentence that I undergo. The isolation on the wall, I'm present in the physical, but distant in the spiritual. A captive of a private mind, leaving the real world behind. 'Cause I am in solitary confinement, solitary confinement, the perfect alignment of the silence and the fear that keeps me trapped in here. There are no bars upon the cage, just the telling of the page. You look at me and see me free, but you don't hold the key to the dark and quiet cell where I am forced to dwell in solitary confinement. I composed a symphony today while driving on the motorway. It started in the Senate chest, a violent and heavy test. I opened up the mouth to sing, but didn't release anything. I swallowed down a rising note and trapped the music in the throat. I parked the car and wiped the eye, and let the inspiration die. I walked into the noisy room and buried it inside the gloom. The silence is the heavy price of taking my own advice. 'Cause I am living a muted melody, melody, a silent tragedy. The volume is turned down to low, so nobody will ever know. The screaming of the violin beneath the surface of the skin. It's beautiful and it is sad, the greatest song I ever had, but you will never hear the sound. It's buried deep beneath the ground, a muted melody. You ask me how the day's been, I offer up the discipline, while smiling at the proper time. It's speaking in a happy rhyme, but underneath the present talk, I'm chalking lies upon the sidewalk, counting every single beat of the disaster under feet. The living hits against the bone, but I am dancing all alone. I'm terrified that you will break, and everyone will see the shame, so I can duck the quiet stillness to cover up the illness. 'Cause I am living a new melody, stand before the silver glass and watch the seconds slowly pass. I recognize the shirt I wear, I know the color of the hair. I see the mouth mimic the word, but not a single sound is heard. It looks exactly like the me that everybody claims to see. But if I lean a little near, the eyes are filled with sudden fear. There is no spirit in the bone, just a statue made of stone. I touch the cold and flat surface, searching for a trace of grace. 'Cause I am just a ghost in the mirror, ghost in the mirror, get it clearer. I'm haunting the reflection there, a stranger with a hollow stare. I wave my hand to see them move, trying desperately to prove that I am still alive inside, with nothing left to hide. That the reflection turns away into the grayness of the day, a ghost in the mirror. I wash the face and dry the skin, and let the acting now begin. I practice smiles in the light to make sure everything is right. I wonder where the person went who used to be innocent. She vanished in the silent war and doesn't live here anymore. I'm occupying empty space, wearing up our own human face. I'm terrified that you will know the emptiness inside the shore, that I am just a vapor thin, trapped beneath the hiding skin. 'Cause I am just a ghost in the mirror, ghost in the mirror, get it clearer. I'm haunting the reflection there, a stranger with a hollow stare. I wave my hand to see them move, trying desperately to prove that I am still alive inside, with nothing left to hide. But the reflection turns away into the grayness of the day, a ghost in the mirror. Who are you? I wrap it up in cotton wool to keep the empty spaces full. I place it deep inside the chest and pray that it will find some rest. I walk with caution through the crowd, because the noises are too loud. I'm terrified a heavy hand will crush this structure into sand. I put the warning sign away and act the normal for the day, but every beat is faint and thin beneath the paper of the skin. I'm holding breath and standing still against the cold and winter chill. 'Cause ain't holes in a fragile heart, fragile heart coming all apart. heavy word could break the glass and ruin everything that lasts. I look so solid from the start, but I am holding a fragile heart. I see you reaching out to me with casual intensity. You wanna hug and hold me tight to make the shadow turn to light. But you don't know the risk you take, but just how easily I break. A sudden movement or a jar could leave a permanent scar. I fence you away from your embrace to save the smile upon the face. It isn't that I do not care, I'm just too broken to be there, protecting what is left of this inside the terrifying abyss. 'Cause I'm holding a fragile heart, fragile heart coming apart. Please be gentle when you speak. The foundation is very weak. One heavy word could break the glass and ruin everything that lasts. I look so solid from the start, but I am holding a fragile heart. I check the color of the skin to see the damage deep within. It's turning purple, black and blue, a map of what I went through. I button up the heavy shirt to hide the evidence of hurt. I cannot let the neighbors see the accident inside of me. It hurts to breathe, it hurts to stand, it hurts to offer up the hand. But I function in the normal way and navigate the brutal day, ignoring every warning sign, running down the spinal line. 'Cause it is bruised but beating, bruised but beating. The cycle is repeating. The struggles in the hollow cage, turning another heavy page. It's damaged by the sudden blow, but refuses to let me go. A rhythm that is sore and slow, keeping up the living show. It's ugly and it's bleeding, but it is bruised and beaten. You asked me if I am okay. I look at you and turn away. I wanna show the injured part, the ruin of the human heart. But you would turn your eyes in fear if I may be ugly clear. So I just swallowed down the pill and forced the spirit to be still. I'm walking with the broken rib, repeating the essential film that I am strong and I am whole, while losing control. is bleeding, but it is bruised and beaten. I check the picture on the box and count the ticking into clocks. I'm searching for the corner piece to find a moment of peace. I woke up missing something small. Wait, did I leave it in the hole? I try to fit this shade inside, but the gap is getting wide. I'm losing parts of who I am, like water breaking through a dam. I glue the edges with a lie and hope that nobody will spy the empty spaces in the frame. I'm not the person in the name, 'cause I am just picking up pieces of me, pieces of me, scattered where you cannot see. They're falling on the kitchen floor and slipping underneath the door. I'm trying hard to make them fit, but I am losing grip of it. You see a picture whole and true, but I am broken through and through. Just a collection of debris, pieces of me. I walk into the social scene, a perfectly constructed machine. I offer you the painted side, with nothing left of dignity or pride. You compliment the finished art, you do not see the missing heart. I'm tired of the puzzle game, every day feels just the same, of searching for the jagged bit that makes the broken edges fit. I wanna sweep it all away and end this charade of the day, but I just kneel upon the wall and hope the lost things can be found. 'Cause I am just picking up pieces of me, pieces of me, scattered where you cannot see. I've fallen on the kitchen floor and slipping underneath the door. Tried hard to make things thick, but I am losing grip of it. You see a picture whole and true, but I am broken through and through. Just a collection of debris, pieces of me. I found a loose and hanging thread in the conversation that we had. I try to tuck it out of sight and keep the edges looking tight. I smoothed the fabric of this smile and held the posture for a while, but I can feel the tension grow in places that you do not know. One gentle tug is all it takes to see how easily it breaks. I'm walking very carefully to keep the whole integrity of who I am supposed to be. from spilling out for you to see. 'Cause I feel like I'm unraveling, unraveling a spool of string that's traveling away from where the center lies, beneath the calm and steady eyes. You think the knot is holding fast, but I am coming loose at last. I'm spinning out upon the floor and sliding underneath the door. There's nothing left inside the weave except the urge to leave, unraveling. You ask a question about the past, and suddenly the die is cast. I feel the fibers start to give, and wonder if the lie will live. I'm naked in the sudden cold as all the mysteries unfold. I try to grab the flying end and act upon a steady friend, but gravity is taking hold. It's stories that were never told. I'm terrified to look at you, in case you see the sunlight through the holes appealing in the chest, where I have tried to do my best. 'Cause I feel like I'm unraveling, unraveling this bullstring that's traveling away from where the center lies, beneath the calm and steady eyes. You think the night is holding fast, but I'm coming loose at last. Come spinning out upon the floor and sliding underneath the door. There's nothing left inside the weave except the urge to leave, unraveling just one thread. A measure of the things I say to keep the avalanche at bay. I hold a breath inside the lung and bite the silence on the tongue. The metal bends inside the hand, trying to meet the high demand. I smile until the muscles ache, wondering how much it takes to shatter everything I am. Like water crashing through a dam, I'm standing on the very edge, a finger slipping off the ledge, calculating the descent of every single moment spent. 'Cause I have reached the breaking point, the breaking point. Every muscle, every joint is screaming at the heavy load. I'm walking down the fractured road. There is no bending left in me, only the catastrophe of snapping into tiny parts, the ruin of the humble hearts. I cannot hold it anymore. I'm crashing to the kitchen floor, the break. breaking point. means there is no turning back. 'Cause I have reached the breaking point. The breaking point. Every muscle, every joint is screaming at the heavy load. We're walking down the fractured road. There is no bending left in me. Only the catastrophe snapping into tiny parts. The ruin of my humble heart. I cannot hold it anymore. I'm crashing to the kitchen floor. The breaking. I watch the flock go flying by, a perfect V against the sky. They call my name to join the flight into the safety of the light. I spread the feathers on the yawn and try to mimic all the charm of rising up above the trees and riding on the morning breeze. But something broken in the bone is dragging me down to the stone. I smile and wave the wing around so they won't see me hit the ground. I'm terrified to let them know that I have lost the strength to go. 'Cause I am just a wounded bird. Wounded bird, singing words you haven't heard. I'm grounded in the heavy grass, watching all the seasons pass. The song is pretty from the throat, but panic lives in every note. I'm hiding underneath the wing, trying to fix the broken thing before the winter comes to stay and takes the breath of life away. Wounded bird. I print a messy, tangled quill and fucks the shaking body still. I tell the others I am fine, just resting for a little time. The night is silver overhead, unaware that I am dead. Inside the hollow of the chest, where hope is finally going to rest. I'm jealous of the open air and all the freedom living there. But gravity is claiming the prize and pulled the curtain on the eyes. I'm acting out a tragedy that only earth and dirt can see. 'Cause I'm just a wounded bird. Wounded bird, singing words you haven't heard. I'm grounded in the heavy grass, watching all the seasons pass. The song is pretty from the throat, the panic living every note. trace the skin upon the arm. There is no evidence of harm, no purple mark or ugly bruise to tell the battle that I lose. The doctor says the bones are straight and I am at a healthy weight. He checks the beating of the heart and says it's perfect on the chart. But he can't see the jagged tear that I have covered up with care. The bleeding happens in the mind where medicine can never find the source of all the agony inside the sweet anatomy. 'Cause I'm covered in scars you can't see. Scars you can't see. A hidden injury that crisscross on the spirit wall and recount every single fall. If I could turn the inside out, you wouldn't have a single doubt why I am walking very slow and why the spirit is so low. I'm fighting a catastrophe with scars you can't see. I envy people in the cast who know the pain is gonna pass, who get the flowers in the cart because their journey is so hard. I have to walk the normal street and force the smile upon the greed, while stitches hurt with every step, a secret that is closely kept. I wonder if I painted red upon the surface of it, head, if you would finally understand why I am reaching for a hand. Or if you look away in fear and pretend that I am not here. 'Cause I'm covered in scars you can't see. Scars you can't see. A hidden injury that crisscross on the spirit wall and recount every single fall. If I could turn the inside out, you wouldn't have a single doubt why I'm walking very slow and why the spirit is so low. I'm fighting a catastrophe. Scars you can't see. I'm tangled in the open air with nothing but a silent prayer to keep the gravity at bay and live to see another day. I smile at you across the phone and tell you that I'm fine alone. But if you saw the fraying rope, you wouldn't have a lot of hope. My fingers bleeding from the strain of holding up the hurricane. I'm swinging in the violent breeze above the tops of tiny trees, calculated and precise. 'Cause I am holding on by a thread, holding on by a thread, hanging by the words I said, the fibers snapping one by one before the setting of the sun. I'm looking down into the black, knowing there is no way back. If I just let the muscle go and tumble to the rocks below, I'm terrified of being dead. So I'm holding on by a thread. The people walk around on solid and supportive ground. They do not know the luck they have to walk a straight and steady path. I'm jealous of the gravity that doesn't pull on them like me. I'm moving in a desperate line, pretending that the view is fine. But every time the in the silence of the air, I'm waiting for the final snap to fall into the heavy trap. 'Cause I am holding on by a thread, holding on by a thread, hanging by the words I said, the fibers snapping one by one before the setting of the sun. Looking down into the black, knowing there is no way back. If I just let the muscle go and tumble to the rocks below, I'm terrified of being dead. So I'm holding on by a thread. I'm looking through the dusty shelf to find a fragment of myself, the photograph is smiling back before the world began to crack. I see the person that I was, existing just because. But now I wear a different face to navigate the crowded place. I checked the pockets of the coat and read the handwriting on the note, but nothing seems to fit the frame except the letters of the name. I'm standing right in front of you, but I am transparent through and through. 'Cause I am in the lost and found, lost and found, sitting on the ground. Everybody sees the skin, but not the state that I am in. You say that I am right here, but I'd have drifted far from near a body that you recognize, with nothing left behind the eyes. I'm waiting to be claimed by me, the Carson that I used to be, lost his door and glide across the checkered floor. And neighbors wave a friendly hand. They do not seem to understand that they are talking to a shell, a ghost inside a living cell. I answer with the proper tone and walk the heavy distance home. I wonder if I slipped away inside the confusion of the day and left the spirit on the scene of some forgotten empty street. I'm holding on to what remains inside the tangle of the veins. 'Cause I am in the lost and found, lost and found, sitting on the ground. Everybody sees the skin, but not the state that I am in. You say that I am right here, but I have drifted far from near a body that you recognize, but nothing left behind the eyes. I'm waiting to be claimed by me, a person that I used to be, lost and found. I take the armor off the chest and lay the heavy shield to rest. I peel the layers one by one until the hiding is undone. My hands are shaking by the side, with nowhere left for me to hide. I catch the image in the glass and pray the terrifying moment pass. The air is cold upon the skin, exposing everything within. I'm standing here without a lie, beneath the judgment of the eye. A soldier without any sword, waiting for your final word. 'Cause I am finally vulnerable, vulnerable, completely breakable. I dropped the guard I held so long, thinking I was big and strong. But now I let the weapon fall and crumble up against the wall. You have the power to destroy the broken spirit of the toil. You can heal the open space with just a kindness in the face of vulnerable. I never showed the weak design, I kept it strictly out of line. I painted over every crack and never looked behind but holding up the heavy weight, it sealed the sorrow and the fate. I'm tired of the masquerade and all the prices I have paid. So here is every secret fear that I have kept for many years. I place them in your open hand and hope that you will understand the risk I take to never let you see the ugly, broken parts of me. 'Cause I find me vulnerable, completely breakable. I dropped the guard I held so long, thinking I was big and strong. But now I let the weapon fall and crumble up against the wall. You have the power to destroy the broken spirit of the toy, or you can heal the open space with just a kindness.